They laughed at us. In smoky German war rooms, generals leaned over maps and chuckled at the long supply lines of the Americans. To them, the U.S. Army was a giant with clay feet, a nation of truck drivers and farmers who could never keep an army moving deep into Europe. They thought our weakness was logistics. What they didn't know was that the very trucks they mocked would become the steel lifeline of victory. In the summer of 1944, Patton's Third Army burst out of Normandy like a storm. His tanks chewed through the French countryside, fast and relentless. But those tanks drank gasoline faster than water, and the further they went, the further they pulled from the beaches where supplies landed. The Germans waited for us to sputter out. They believed fuel would run dry and Patton's mighty advance would stall. But America had an answer. That answer was the Red Ball Express. It wasn't glamorous. It was grit, determination, and wheels on rough French roads. Thousands of trucks, painted with red balls, formed convoys that never stopped moving. Day and night, through rain and dust, they carried fuel, food, ammunition, and hope. The rule was simple. Keep rolling. Stop only if your truck was burning. Everything else could wait. Most of the drivers were young, many barely out of school. A great number were African American soldiers, pushed into support roles by segregation. But when the world needed them, they stepped up. They drove 20 hours straight. Headlights blacked out to avoid German planes. Nerves steel tight as they pushed on through the night. They rested on the roadside, ate cold rations, and then climbed back behind the wheel. It was backbreaking work, dangerous work, and it was rarely recognized. But they kept driving, because without them, Patton's tanks would sit silent in the fields of France. Patton himself admitted it. His army would have been grounded in 2 days without the Red Ball Express. Those convoys delivered over 400,000 tons of supplies in just a few months. They turned mockery into awe. The Germans who once laughed at American logistics now trembled at the endless roar of trucks, a sound that meant the advance never stopped. But beyond the numbers lies the lesson. The Red Ball Express was proof that history is built not only by generals and soldiers in battle, but by ordinary men who do the quiet, relentless work that makes victory possible. It was proof that courage comes in many forms, sometimes not with a rifle, but with a steering wheel, a long road, and the will to keep moving forward. And for us today, their story still speaks. Life is often a long, tiring road. Our efforts may go unseen, our sacrifices unrecognized. But just like those drivers, our steady miles, our unseen labor, carry others forward. The laughter of doubters can one day turn into silence if we just keep rolling. The Germans were wrong about America's weakness. Logistics wasn't our flaw. It was our strength. And the Red Ball Express